and thank you for joining me today for Real Estate, Religion, and You. My name is Sylvia Black, licensed real estate broker with Affordable Homes and Apartments, and I'm also licensed to preach and ordained as a minister. And I want to thank you for joining me today for Real Estate, Religion, and You, which airs every Wednesday evening, 6:30 to 7 p.m., and the reruns on Saturdays from 12:30 to 1, right here on Time Warner Public Access TV, Channel 20, Buffalo, New York. And I want to thank you for joining me today. Now today I'd like to talk to you about a book that I have revised, and it's called Mortgage Relief Programs. Okay? Formerly Help for Homeowners Facing the Loss of Your Home. Now this book talks about how to save your home from foreclosure. A lot of different things we're going to talk about today. Particularly how to save your home from foreclosure. Now if you're a homeowner and you're facing foreclosure, this will be an excellent book for you. If you have questions in terms of, what is the procedure, are they legal, this is the book for you. If you want help in saving your home, or if you want to help someone else, this is the book for you. And you can get it available on lulu.com. And my website will be up and running soon, but right now you can order it on lulu.com. Also amazon.com soon in the future, and barnesandnobles.com, as well as other websites, at a store coming soon near you. Okay? And again, my name is Sylvia Black, licensed real estate broker with Affordable Homes and Apartments. Now, the last couple of weeks we've been talking about, we've been at the actual site where we were actually cleaning out the buildings, and we were actually renovating them, and we were, doing the maid service, as they call it, the landscaping. We were actually, what we were doing was preparing the home for resale. Okay? The home had been foreclosed upon, and so the previous owner had been evicted. And now the investor needs to recapitalize on his investment, and therefore we were one of the vendors assigned to those particular properties, and we were out there actually getting the house ready for resale. So we're here at Affordable Homes. Not only are we here to help to buy and sell and to rent property and to manage property, but we also actually go out, clean the property, we prepare it for maid service, we get the property fully ready and for the new homeowner. Now this new vendor that we're working with actually has a marketing team that has a lot of innovative ways in terms of continually developing new and different ways of working with you, the investor. Now, one example, for example, for your information, I know that you know this because I've told it to you before. It takes 12 months for an actual foreclosure proceeding to come to fruition. In other words, January 1st, 2012, you get your first notice that you are behind in your mortgage. You will have until approximately December 31st, 2012 before you are actually evicted out of that property legally. Anything that happens before then is an illegal eviction, even if it is enforced by a law enforcement agency, which we're going to talk about too, and it's also in my book, Mortgage Relief Programs. I talked about it a while back, excuse me, about mortgage holders who were actually legally foreclosed upon by illegal means. Let me tell you, brothers and sisters, foreclosure is big business, okay? And a lot of times you may not even be behind in your mortgage. You may have paid your mortgage up, or you may just be a few months behind. And then 6 months later, here comes the company, not necessarily the owner, but the company who's hired for the investor. They'll come out and they'll put a foreclosure sale notice on your door. They're ready to sell the house prematurely, okay? And if you want further information on this, please email me at sblack3001@gmail.com. You can also, my website will be Affordable Homes and Apartments. I'm not sure, .net, .com, but we'll give you that information soon. But you can definitely email me. You can call us at 716-602-7213. Okay, email sblack3001@gmail.com. Okay, now, like I said, for example, you may have gotten a legal notice in the mail that may look like it's official. And it'll say that there's a foreclosure date that's scheduled. And it's only been 6 months since the foreclosure proceeding actually began. So now you go to court without questioning it, and the judge forecloses on your property legally, but through illegal means. Okay, as I talked about before, and I include this in my book, that they have what they call robo-scammers or robo-signers. Okay, you know, remember the movie RoboCop? Well, he was actually out to, you know, to help the good guys. But, you know, robo-signers are people that are hired by legitimate companies that actually are in an office or in a room that all day long, all they do is sign documents. And even though the article was maybe a couple of years ago and a settlement has been reached, however minor it was, and I'm not going to let this bury under the rug. I'm going to keep this alive because this is something that we need to continually address. Every day somebody is dealing with this issue. Foreclosures, proceedings, being behind in your mortgage, being faced with high interest rates. And now I've been told that you can, a lender can actually charge up to 24.99%, which is the highest interest rate that can be charged, simply because you have bad credit. That could add $1,000 a year, maybe more, on your mortgage. If you have a $100,000 mortgage, you're gonna be paying, you know, out of some parts of your body, okay? You know, and you may never stop paying. And then when you go to refinance, the banks are gonna look at you like, oh, you must be kidding me, right? This was overappraised, overpriced. The interest rate is way too high. We can't touch this, baby. You know. So you may find yourself in a dilemma that you cannot get out of. The only way to get out of it is to walk away from the house. And a lot of us don't want to do that, so I'm urging you, my brothers and my sisters, please do not walk away from your investment. If you find that there's a way that you can save your house, please contact me or get a copy of this book. This will give you information that a lot of people will not tell you. Okay? And it's important that we stay abreast. It says in the Bible that knowledge is power. You know, the more knowledge you have, the more power that you possess. That, you know, you can do things. That's why I studied real estate, because I needed to know every aspect of real estate, and I'm still learning. And I love to learn. There are so many different things to learn in the real estate field. Not just buying, selling, and property management. There's so many other fields. And foreclosure is one of those fields of interest to me. Now, there are a lot of ways that you can save your home. Even if you're facing tax foreclosure, you could save your home. If you're facing mortgage foreclosure, you could possibly save your home. But you got to know what the right steps are that you can take. Now, as I said earlier, one of the companies that I'm working for, their marketing team is developing a lot of new and innovative ways to help you, the investor, okay, to capitalize off of your investment. For example, now we know that it takes 12 months to foreclose a proceeding on a home. So that's possibly 12 months or less that the investor has not gotten a dime from their money. And not only that, they're not receiving any money, but you're the investor now, you're spending extra money, you're spending it on the actual legal proceedings to actually get the house. You're sending letters to the homeowner, you're trying to get the homeowner to contact you. You might even have hired a customer service team, you know, that are making phone calls, calling these homeowners on a regular basis, trying to get them to save their home from foreclosure, and they don't answer. You've spent money on legal proceedings, you're spending money on extra hired help, and then not only that, now you have to actually go, you know, you're spending money on court proceedings and what have you, okay? And it's now you've not gotten a dime out of your money. Now you have to pay a company like us to go in and clean the property out and get it ready for resale. And then you have to promise to pay the broker, which is us and them, to actually sell the house. That's a waiting game now. It could be months, it could be weeks. You know, investors want properties cheap. You know, when you say foreclosure, dollar bills start ringing up in their eyeballs. You know, you see, 80,000, that number means nothing to me. I'm going to get it for 20 or 40,000, you know, because that's the way I am as an investor. That's what it's worth, and that's what I want it for. See, so this is the mentality of a lot of people. But the reality of it is that you, the investor, have not capitalized on your investment. So now, what this marketing team has created, and I believe it's a good idea, it still has a few kinks to be worked out, but we here at Affordable Homes can help you work out all those kinks. And I feel it's a great creative idea, and what it is basically, after the house has been prepared, cleaned up, you know, and prepared for sale, rather than sitting and waiting for the home to find a buyer for it, why not allow us to rent that property out? we can get somebody, not necessarily somebody who even qualifies for a mortgage, because if you're going to get a tenant that qualifies for a mortgage, then you might as well wait for the homeowner to buy the house outright. Now see, we have a lot of creative ways. That's why we never stop learning the different ways of, now if you're watching this broadcast, you're going to learn a valuable secret that I'm going to reveal to you only on this broadcast here. So I would suggest that it'll be on YouTube, and you can listen to it as often as you like. I'm going to tell you some secrets here today that I haven't told anyone else. And I don't usually tell my secrets out to people because usually knowledge is power. But I'm going to tell you the secret because I'm trying to get to a point. And then again, I may reconsider before I open up my mouth. But one of the things that needs to be done, again, is to basically get a tenant in there. Get somebody in there that's going to pay you some rent, okay? And we will help structure the rent based on what we feel that is reasonable that you can get. Now, the creative ways in doing this, right? First of all, we're going to screen the tenants very carefully. And again, I'm talking about my book, Mortgage Relief Programs. That's available on lulu.com, okay? Written by yours truly, Dr. Sylvia Black, okay? Now, some of the ways we're gonna find a qualified tenant. We always screen very carefully. We ask hundreds of questions. We have them fill out applications. We do credit check, background check, all of that, and then we determine if we make sure that they have enough income to qualify, and we want to make sure that they have the stability behind them in which to maintain the income. Now we know that anything can happen, and this is the reason why people get foreclosed upon, because something happens with the job, the income is lost for one reason or another. But yet, nevertheless, business has to go on. So we'll screen as you have screened. We'll monitor, the progress of the tenant, and what we'll do is we'll make sure that the rent is not too high, but not too low. So this way you, the investor, are getting some money out of your investment. Now what we can do is, we say, okay, this tenant wants to buy the house. Like I said, a lot of the kinks have to be worked out. They want to rent the house. We let them know you have the option within 12 months to purchase this house. You have the first option of doing that. You're not obligated to buy the house, but you have the first option of buying this house, okay, as a tenant. And we here at Affordable Homes are going to help work with you. We're going to refer you to other nonprofit organizations who help you for free with upgrading your credit, and we're going to work with you to monitor their progress, your progress, and our progress that we're making with you over a period of 12 months. Okay, some of the services are free, some of them are not. Some of them we try to keep at reduced cost, and like I said, some are free, some are not, and some are at reduced cost based on your income. But nevertheless, this is to help you, the homeowner, to build your credit so that you now can qualify for a mortgage. Now, there are several places where you, the homeowner, for the investor's purpose, can get the money to actually buy the home. Example, you, the investor, the house was worth $150,000. The previous owner who had got foreclosed upon, they bought the house for $150,000. The homeowner, they left, whatever the case was, however they left, they may passed away or whatever. They got divorced, lost their job, retired. A number of things could have happened. Okay, so now what happens? Your mortgage doesn't get paid. The foreclosure begins, right? So let's say hypothetically they have paid $50,000 on this mortgage. So now you owe $100,000. They owe $100,000 on the mortgage. Okay, but they're no longer here. I was told years ago that when a person has a debt, that when they pass away, that their debt is paid. I guess they don't do that no more. Because if you pass away and you owe a debt, it's gonna pass down to your next generation, and somebody else in the family gonna have to pay. So that's not true anymore. But maybe it's based on how the will is written or whatever, or the state you're in. So now $100,000, but the property is still worth $150,000, right? So now the investor has received $50,000 off the property. If you could get $100,000 over the next 20 years or so, you might be happy, right? You might be happy. Okay, but the last year has been hell for you because you haven't gotten any money at all, and you've been spending up money trying to get the homeowner to pay you their money, which they haven't done. So now we're going to get you a tenant in there. We're going to get somebody in there. We're going to say, okay, Miss Banker, Miss Renter, Miss Tenant, Mr. and Mrs. Tenant. We're going to try to get a family with 2 incomes at least. Both of them are working, so if one person loses their income, and we're going to work with them so that if you lose your job, you call Affordable Homes and Apartments immediately. And you tell us, look, you lost it, how are we going to be able to make it now? Don't wait until the paycheck, months and months have gone by, because the situation is not going to disappear, right? So, okay. And so now we have this particular home buyer, and they're in the house, and they want to, we say, call us right away if you're facing any problems. Okay, so now they're in the home. Now they're 3 months down the line, they come and say, we want to buy the house. We've helped them to the point now where they get their credit straightened out, and now they're qualified to purchase a house. Okay? Now, they are low-income, moderate-income families. These are low-income families, and they're paying their rent to you. Section 8 is paying their rent, right? Now, I also have in my book where I talk about the Section 8 homeownership voucher. Okay? And what that is that if you need help with meeting your homeownership expenses, and you are receiving Section 8, and you've been on Section 8 for at least a year, and working or receiving permanent disability or some other income, which I can't remember offhand, then you will qualify for a Section 8 homeownership voucher. Okay? Let's say hypothetically that you're not getting Section 8. You might be getting disability. You might be working. Somebody else is getting permanent disability. Nevertheless, you have a combined household income of one or more of these sources. Okay? And now you're ready to buy the house. So what that means is that we are going to excruciate or extrapolate. I don't like to say it that way because it's like forcing it, I'm going to pull your teeth out, But we're going to actually extrapolate money from the state, from the federal government, from the city, and from local municipalities combined for this one homeowner to help pay the mortgage for you, the investor. Okay? Now, let's say now $100,000 is all you want to recapitalize on. The property is $150,000. The banks are going to love you. They're going to say, oh yeah, we can write this mortgage because now the homeowner has a $50,000 equity. And I'll talk about all of that if you don't understand what I mean by that. So now, you go in there, you say you need a down payment and closing cost assistance. We obtain that from the local government. There's what they call subsidy grants, which you can obtain from other sources. Okay, a grant can be up to $30,000 towards the purchase of the house. But you, the homeowner, have to agree to live in that house for 10 years. Okay? So now we're talking down payment, closing cost assistance, $5,000. Subsidy grant, $30,000. So we've already tapped into $35,000, right? Now, let's say hypothetically in this situation, we've qualified for the Section 8 homeownership voucher. We've helped you obtain that voucher because you were on Section 8, and while we were working with you, you went to credit counseling classes, and now you have your homeownership voucher. You went to the bank, you qualified for a mortgage, and they said, yes, that's fine. So now all that's left on this mortgage is $65,000, right? $100,000 from $30,000 is $65,000. That's all that's left on this mortgage to pay, right? That would be real easy, even for a homeowner, because you can pay, let's say, an average of $650 a month, which to some people is a lot. It can be a lot because you'll have your gas and electric and your cable and your phone and your car and your car gas and your entertainment expenses. So you have a lot of other expenses that will add up to that. You would really want that expense to be as low as it can, right? Well, as a Section 8 tenant, and then now as a Section 8 potential home owner, which was, I believe it's the state that's affiliated that issues that money, would actually pay 70% of your mortgage, just like they pay 70% of your rent. So that's not, now the investor, you're getting the full amount of your money. You're getting the whole $100,000. And every month you're going to be getting, let's say 7 times 6 is 42, you're going to be getting about $420 or more from Section 8. That's going to come directly to you for the next, I don't know, 20, 30 years, however long the mortgage is. And then the homeowner now is required to pay the other $200 and change a month for a mortgage for a house that they bought at $100,000. Now, question, if I was to run an ad, I would say, would you like to pay a $100,000 house, pay $200 a month on this house, find out more, find out how. Okay, you're getting the whole $100,000. You're getting $30,000 right in your pocket from as a grant. You're getting $5,000 at the closing towards the down payment and the closing cost assistance. So the buyer now has to put out very little of their own money, but they still have to dish out some of their own capital. So this is an excellent way to take care of that, okay? Another way to do that, and this is one of my secrets, is like say the homeowner now they qualify for a mortgage, right? They've been renting and they've been paying you rent, no Section 8, none of that, no subsidies. 2 working adults and they have a couple of children, growing family. So now what we do is we go in there, now we enter into, of course with your permission, into a okay, you would then hold the mortgage as the investor, the owner. You are going to hold the mortgage for this particular one, right? And this is a way for you to get all of your money. You don't want to be fed your money over a period of time because you lost money in the last 12 months. You want to go on vacation. You got another house you want to buy. There's a whole lot of things that you need to do right now. You've lost time, and now you need to capitalize on that time. So now you say, okay, here, you'll finance the mortgage for them. They're going to give you $5,000 down towards $100,000. But we're going to have to increase that price a little bit so that you can get all the $100,000. So now the price is $125,000, right? They're going to pay you $5,000 down towards the down payment to close. They're going to pay you X amount of dollars towards the mortgage every month, okay? You enter into an agreement. You hold the mortgage for them for 6 months. They pay the mortgage on time for 6 months. Then we go to a note buyer. Yeah, this is one of my secrets. I'm giving you this one for free. Hope you holler at a sister and get a copy of this. Lulu.com. Okay, we'll go to one of those kind of people that I said. And now they will then buy the mortgage. It's not a real big secret, but this is like, you know, it's just so interesting to know that, for example, even even with the government, when they have a whole bunch of houses that they haven't sold, they would actually sell a group of houses, you know, to another branch of the government. So now this government agency owns it, but now we can't sell it, so we're going to sell them to you now. So we got all of these houses, 10, 20 houses that we're going to sell them, and we're going to sell them over to you. You know, all of these mortgages, houses that have mortgages on, we're going to sell all these mortgages to you. Okay, it's so much to know about the real estate business. Let me tell you, it's just a fascinating world of money and real estate that is to be known and to be learned. I don't even think a 4-year college degree will teach you everything you need to know. Okay, so now these particular people buy the mortgage, right? They always buy it for a little less, and they make a fee off of it, right? So now it's $125,000. You want $100,000, right? You're gonna get your $100,000 because they're gonna buy it for $100,000. Let's say hypothetically, right? So they're figuring they're not getting $25,000 is what you're losing out on, right? So now you, the investor, have your $100,000. The homeowner still lives in the house, but instead of paying their mortgage to you, the investor, now they pay it to the new owner who just bought your mortgage. Oh yes, this is exciting. Get a copy of my book, Mortgage Relief Programs, available on Lulu.com. And I'm a licensed real estate broker and owner of affordable homes and apartments. Okay, we rent, we lease apartments, we manage property, we have houses for rent. And we also go out and we clean the property and we get it ready for resale to get it back on the market again. If you're one of these investors that I just finished talking about, please holler at a sister, because we can help you structure those houses and get those houses getting some money in your pocket. You see, because we all know that you're the investor. You're not in the business of property management. You know, investors, the government, you know, they insure mortgages. Right, so that it will make it easier for the homeowner to purchase and qualify for a mortgage. But the government is not in the business of managing property. They don't want it. They want the money. Okay? Give me the money. This is, you know, the government is not in the business of property management. So, any way that we can help in terms of helping you to get the cash that you need, let us do that. You know, we want you to get the money that you need. Of course, we'll take a little for ourselves. You know, that's how we make our commissions and whatnot. But we're happy when we can help a homeowner buy a home. When you didn't think that you could qualify for a house, and now we've helped to make it possible for you to give you the information that you need. Now you're in a home of your own. Sometimes we may have a house for rent that you might want to rent. It might not be in, you know, the bourgeoisie neighborhood, you know, or the suburbs and everything. It might be right in the middle of the hood. But the house has security bars on it, the guards on the windows, steel doors in the front and the back, you know, brand new furnace, brand new hot water tank, new carpeting, brand new, freshly painted, the whole house renovated. So when you walk in that house, you feel like you're in the suburbs, but you're safe. And you have all the things that you need to make your life comfortable and secure. When you close that door to your house, you walk in there and the world disappears. Okay? It's the next best thing to owning a home of your own. It gives you the opportunity. I would say yes, you need to rent a house as a prerequisite to owning a home. Because this would let you know whether you have what it takes to own your own home. I saw a young lady, I had rented a house to her, and her house, you had to step over the clothes. You had to step over the stuff. Everything, nothing was on the table. Everything was on the floor. And she was telling me that she's contacted the maintenance department, which they're very good at coming out and doing the work. She said she's contacted the maintenance department and they refuse to come out and do any work for her. And I did not. I did not have the nerve to tell her, you know, so-and-so. The reason why they're not coming out to fix your house is because they're not coming and walking through all of this. You know. But I didn't have the heart to say that. You know, I mean, I have a lot of nerve, and I've been told that I got more nerve than Job had patience, but I didn't have the heart and the nerve to tell her that. I just had to keep my mouth shut. So, today, my name is Dr. Sylvia Black, and I'm talking about my book, Mortgage Relief Programs, okay? And let's see if I have a little time to read you a little bit what's in it. I pretty much explained a lot. I just want you to be aware as a homeowner of the scams also that are going out there on you. You have to remember that when your house goes into foreclosure, it's made a matter of public knowledge. So everybody in the world can find out about your house being up for foreclosure. It's a matter of public knowledge. So, and you have people that do this for a living all day long. They look for houses that are facing foreclosure. And they will show up at your door. They will send you letters. They will call you on the phone because your information is now made public. Your phone number, where you work at, how much money you make, how long you've been there, your occupation. Yes, very little that we have today is kept private. Even when you go in the bathroom and close the door, I believe there's somebody watching you doing that. Okay, so you got to be very careful about the things that you do. And it's a good thing to be knowledgeable on these things. You have a lot of programs that are out here to help. But you also have a lot of people who are out here just to take your property and don't care two hoots and a toot about you. They want the property. They don't care whether you sign it away to them or not. And I know in a desperate situation, it may seem a lot of these, when they come knocking on your door, it's like, wow, my house just went into foreclosure and you just calling me up now? You know, and you're wondering, wow, man, I need me $5 grand. If I just had $5 grand, what I could do, you know, with this money, you know what I mean? And then here comes somebody offering you $5,000 if you sign this. What you're actually signing is you're signing your whole house away for $5 grand. You know, if it sounds too good to be true, more than likely it is too good to be true. I believe that this book will be a small investment into the protection of your future. I believe that the reason why a lot of us that buy homes is so that we can have something to leave to our children. We can have something that and pass on to the next generation. Okay, you know, but if you fall prey to these victim scams, you know, then you know you have nothing. And a lot of times the homeowners, you know, you have to go to counseling or you fall into depression if you don't kill yourself first, you know, and you know you feel that, oh wow, it's, you know, something that I could have done, something that I could have said, and you constantly blaming yourself. And believe me, I don't think that you can ever really live that down until you finally buy yourself a new house. And then all of those years that have been lost. You know, so getting the copy of this book, Mortgage Relief Programs, will be an excellent investment in your future. And you can get it from Lulu.com. You can order it right online in the comfort of your own home. Now, let me just read a little bit here. What happens when you miss a mortgage payment? Foreclosure occurs. Okay? Now, you have a lot of deceptive mortgage ads. Okay? And one of the ads might say, to help you recognize an offer that may be less than competitive, you need to contact the Federal Trade Commission. The Federal Trade Commission is the nation's Consumers Protection Agency. They say that when you're shopping for a home loan, it's important to understand all the terms and conditions, and it's important to of the loan. Start with what is and what's in the ad itself. Read between the lines as well as what's in front of your eyes. Okay, that's for somebody who's looking for a mortgage. Okay, I've had a lot of complaints from people who have bought a house, we've sold a house to them, and they call me up. I've actually had to go to court on a lot of these issues. My license is up for grabs because people complained and they blame me because they have this tremendous mortgage and they blame me for deceptive practice. When they were sitting at the closing table, they signed all the documents. You as a homeowner now, when you were at the closing table, you signed all the documents that you were needed to sign. And your lawyer should have been sitting right there next to you. I don't think they would have let you close the deal on the house unless your lawyer was there with you. And what happens is the outline of the mortgage, this is your mortgage payment, and this is what your interest rate is. So this is what your mortgage payment is going to be. You'll get a timetable. You get a APR, what is it, an amortization schedule that'll let you know how much of a payment you owe and where that money is going to, whether it's going to principal or whether it's going to interest. And I'll talk to you about that at a later time. But when they get the first payment in the mail, let's say hypothetically your payment is $600 a month, and the interest rate, that includes the interest rate. You know, whatever it was, and then they add the interest and it comes to $600 a month. But your first bill in the mail you get for $850. And you're paying $600 a month, right? And then all of a sudden down the road you get a foreclosure letter in the mail that says we're foreclosing on you. Or you get a whopping bill now that says you owe, you know, a lot of money, thousands of dollars over a period of a few months. And you're wondering, Miss Black, you sold us this house and you told us that our payment was going to be $600 a month. And now we're in foreclosure. Well, man, Miss Homeowner, did you pay your mortgage? Yes, we paid our mortgage, and we went according to that amortization schedule that we had. Okay, did you pay the bill that was sent to you that said that you owed $800? No, why are we going to pay $800? $800 is not what we're supposed to pay. We only have to pay $650. Ma'am, you forgot about the escrow. Escrow? What's that? Escrow payments are tax and insurance. Okay? And I talked to you about this before. The bank is not going to maintain second position when it comes to your mortgage, okay? In other words, if you fall behind in your taxes, the city can take your house for non-payment of taxes. And then the mortgage company will be out of their money. So the mortgage company is going to make sure that the taxes are paid so that they don't maintain second position. Second position meaning the tax people have the authority to take your house if your taxes aren't paid. So the mortgage company is going to make sure that those taxes are paid. In addition to that, you must maintain home ownership insurance. You have to for the benefit, just like when you buy a car, you got to get full coverage. You got to have home ownership insurance for a home because that protects it against any calamity that comes across it and protects the investor and the mortgage company against with their investment. So that payment is additional. You have the option of choosing your own insurance company and paying your taxes. Actually, I believe for the first year or so, you have to pay the whole year taxes to the mortgage company. And then your tax payment monthly and your insurance payment is wrapped into that mortgage payment. It's added additional. So yes, your mortgage payment is $600, but your escrow payment is $250. Which you must pay. Now, if you don't pay your insurance payment, the mortgage company will then charge you. They can and they have up to 3 times the amount of your payment per month. Hypothetically speaking, your insurance payment is $100 a month. You don't pay that $100. The mortgage company can charge you $300 for each month that you don't pay. So 3 months go down the line, you owe $900. For insurance, when all you had to do was pay $300. Okay, if you don't pay your insurance or your taxes, the mortgage company will foreclose upon you for non-payment of that. Your mortgage is paid, but the rest of it's not paid, and it all has to be paid in order for you to stay out of foreclosure. Okay, so you have to be very, very careful about that, and I try to emphasize that, and I talk about that in this book. Mortgage Relief Programs by Sylvia Black, licensed real estate broker and owner of Affordable Homes and Apartments. And this is available on Lulu.com. I talk about escrow payments here. I talk about a lot of different issues. Let me just go down the line a little bit on the index so that you can have a general idea in terms of what we talk about. I talk about the money problems that you may be facing. Okay, steps to take when you cannot pay your mortgage. Okay, I encourage you not to ignore letters that you get from your lender. Okay, I talk to you about other organizations, non-profit organizations who can assist you free of charge. Okay, in addition to that, you may even be eligible for legal aid assistance, a free lawyer. I talk about being aware of predatory lending schemes, scams, 10 warning signs of predatory lending, loan fraud. Okay, there's also help for disaster relief. If you face disaster relief okay, I'll talk about different kinds of mortgages, settlement procedures, what happens at the closing table, how to avoid foreclosure, different options that you can choose as opposed to paying all the money that you owe to save your home. There are other options that you can take advantage of that I list here in my book. Okay, modify and refinance your home. I talk about foreclosure. I talk about the different, so much information is here. And I also talk about, the fact that how that legal companies, mortgage companies that are legitimately have a license, they actually can foreclose upon you legally by illegal means. And I talk about that in my book here, Mortgage Relief Programs. I believe it's an excellent book, and I think that everybody should get a copy of it, especially if you have or are facing foreclosure. And we're going to be going out and doing some more on-site maintenance and some more on-site repairs and some lawn mowing and some shoveling of snow. And we're going to be right out the site showing you some more houses that have faced foreclosure. And the house may possibly be up for rent if we get the okay from the investor to say, okay, go ahead. We want you to rent out the property, but these are the stipulations and the conditions. Yes, we have to work out the kinks, but it'll be all for the greater good of all of those. The settlement that was reached during that scam did not allow those homeowners to recover their homes. It may have put a couple of $1,000s in their pocket, but it didn't stop the homeowner from actually going on their own and filing a lawsuit against the company for illegal foreclosure. They could have actually recapitalized on the money that they lost from the home itself, as opposed to a group or a huge settlement that was done, on a conglomerate level, as opposed to, just an individual. Now you can still take the court to civil court or Supreme Court, or you can take them to federal court. You have the right as an individual to sue people on your own. And if you know how to do it, you don't have to get a lawyer. You can research the legal papers right down in the courthouse and get a copy of it. You can pretty much look almost anything up online as well and find out how to do what you need to do. And you can do it yourself if nobody don't want to touch it, or if they want to charge you X amount of dollars up front. You may even qualify for a legal aid to help you. Some people just don't want to touch certain things because it's the people that you have to sue. These people are big, and they're afraid of them. They could come back and hurt them, But the law is the law, and it's very specific. Well, I want to thank you for joining me today for Real Estate, Religion, and You. And I would like to encourage you to please join me again next week right here on Time Warner Public Access TV Channel 20, Buffalo, New York, which airs every Wednesday 6:30 to 7, and Saturdays from 12:30 to 1, right here on Time Warner Public Access TV Channel 20. And my name is Dr. Sylvia Black. I'm a licensed real estate broker with Affordable Homes and Apartments. And I'm also licensed to preach and ordained as a minister, and I have my master's degree in Sacred Theological Divinity. And I'll be coming to you possibly next week from the point of view, we're going to be on site again, with the new crew, and we're going to be out there hustling and getting the job done. You might even see me showing the house, walking through the house and talking to the people about the house. Or I might even show you when we're showing a house for rent. Some of the houses that we have available, that are available for rent. So please join me again next week, and you can always view these videos right on my YouTube at SBlack3001. All of my videos I post them right on YouTube. Some of them, the ones that don't air on TV and the ones that do, they're all on YouTube for your perusal, and you can watch them as many times as you'd like to. And again, this book is available on Lulu.com. And I want to thank you for joining me today, and please join me again next week right here on Time Warner Public Access TV Channel 20 for Real Estate, Religion, and You.